Pledge of Allegiance was made by Francis Bellamy in 1892. It was made the pledge in 1942. I always get those mixed up. It is usually said at the beginning of the school day. The words "under God" were added in 1954 as the very last change. It used to be one long compound sentence, but it's been changed to many sentences. It was originally supposed to be recited in 15 seconds. One of the first changes was from "my flag" to the flag of the United States, to not confuse loyalties. A year later, it was made to "of America" instead of the United States. The last change was "under God." It goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and I'll let you read these words right here, and I guess I'll see you later.
You got it? You done?
The oak is a tree or shrub with a certain genetic makeup. It is the national tree of the U.S. They are commonly found in North America. That's probably why they're the national tree of the U.S. The leaves are in spirals. Acorns are produced by these trees. These trees produce male and female flowers. The seeds take 6 to 18 months to mature. It's resistant to insects and fungus, plus it has a great strength. That's why it's used for planking, flooring, and furniture. That's all for now. The Liberty Bell is a symbol of freedom. As you might know, it cracked. 2 years, cracked. It was first rung in Pennsylvania. It was recast 2 times, and both attempts ultimately failed. It was used to alert citizens of meetings and summon lawmakers. It attracted huge crowds, cracked because of ringing, and was chipped away by souvenir hunters. It is a famous American symbol of freedom. I mean, liberty, freedom, Liberty Bell, Freedom Bell. On a test ring, the rim cracked, and that's pretty. And then you can kind of imagine the story from there. It was recast, but when they tested it, it didn't crack anymore. It was not damaged. But ultimately, as you can see, did it really, actually fix it? Did it? Because you could see this crack here, so apparently it didn't. Didn't think so. Now you can imagine the sadness of those casters, and it must feel so bad to know that your casting work failed to just pure force. So, I mean, you can imagine that, right? So, well, goodbye. The Great U.S. Seal is used on passports, visas, and etc. The name represents the actual seal itself, but also the general design. On July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress told their first committee to make a U.S. seal. Each person on this committee submitted a different design. The Congress agreed on a design by a person who was never assigned to the first committee, a Philadelphian artist. The Congress later ended the first committee, but took elements from the seal. Later, 3.5 years later, a second committee was chosen. The committee chose a design, but the Congress only used part of the seal. Then the Congress formed a third committee. Congress did not do really anything with the design. They didn't do much with the design at all. The Secretary of State then took elements of all the committees and made them into the Great U.S. Seal. Hello, this is about the bald eagle. The bald eagle is a bird that was chosen for the U.S. bird because it was used as a symbol of power for a long time. And face it, America has power. A lot of bald eagles live in Alaska, and they also live in Northwest America, pretty much Northwest Coast, North America. They have white heads, yellow beaks, brown bodies, and tan tail feathers. They do eat fish, so if you're going to a lake in the Northwest, you might see a bald eagle hunting. Bald eagles are featured on the Great U.S. Seal, and I'll tell you why. Because bald eagles represent power. The olive branch represents peace, and the arrows represent strength. Put those together, it makes a combination for a country that has a strong leader, a great form, and a really good place to live. And as you can see here, I'll point out the parts of the body. This is the white head. The brown body is white, is right here and also around there. And then over here in this area, those are the tannish white tail feathers. Like I said, tannish white, just tan, not brown. Thanks for watching a Liam Buchanan production. In 1777, the Second Continental Congress made a flag with 13 stars on blue and alternating red and white stripes. Blues over here, blues over here, red and white stripes. During the siege of Fort Stanwix, the flag was flown for the very first time. When soldiers heard the news, they used clothing to make a giant flag. In the late 1700s, the idea of a national flag did not exist. Just it didn't. Not all early flags had their stars in a circle. Don't get that mixed up. They didn't all have their stars in a circle. 2 stars were added in 1795, along with 2 stripes. So now we had 15 stars and 15 stripes, like these. Now these are more modern flags, but you get the general idea. I mean, their stars are not arranged in a circle, and they have 13 stripes. 13 stripes. And so, just look at that. Just look. Look how it's arranged in a star shape. Array. That actually was the first flag, and this was a more modern flag. Not the latest one, but pretty modern flag. In 1818, the amount was changed to 20 stars. Plus, they reduced the amount of stripes down to 13 to honor the original 13 colonies. The stripes amount was reduced to 13, as I just said, and now there'd be 1 star added to the flag when a new state was added. The final star was added in Hawaii up until now, and who knows? We could be adding more. Who knows? I mean, there's always new states to be added. Who knows? The Statue of Liberty is a giant statue that is in New York Harbor. You can see the giant. The statue is the first thing most immigrants see, especially at Ellis Island. Its parts were sent by France as a 100-year birthday present. The Statue of Liberty was finished 10 years later than the expected construction ending. She has a torch and holds a book. The arm with the torch was on show at an exposition. The funding amount was an issue, and the bottom part of the statue, below there, is made of stone. It was almost canceled, actually. And then, what do you know? The statue was assembled in France and shipped here to be built. In the early 1980s, the statue had to go under a major restoration. After 9/11, it was closed for safety. You can guess why. One day after it was opened, it was closed due to Hurricane Sandy. It's an iconic symbol of America. You can even go to the top of it. Now, it wasn't originally green, but it's turned green. It's turned green because of all that sea salt spray coming off well, not sea salt spray, but all the spray rusting it slightly and turning it green. That's why it's green. So, it's a big symbol of America, and you might go there someday. Bye. The national anthem was created during the War of 1812. It was created during a siege in water. Ships on the water would fire cannons, and the fort would return fire. The ships also launched exploding balls, which created the line, "The bombs bursting in air." When the bombs burst, the light given off of the ships on the water see the American flag. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. You could tell who won the battle by whose flag was still waving. The man who wrote the song woke up to see the flag still waving. And this made, "Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave." The fort was the land of the free and the home of the brave. Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem. Usually people say the Pledge of Allegiance, which is, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Then they sing, drum roll, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave